Hello there and welcome to another Monday weekly recording of AL, and today we are going to look at the enum data type.
Hii ni Tech na Msangi ya jishinde.com.
The enum is a keyword used to declare a type that consists of a set of named constants. For example, maybe we have a let's say account type, maybe GL, customer, and all that. So instead of using the normal option string, we can use the enum. Okay, let's see its benefit because it's more beneficial than having to use the option string. The list of named constants is called the enumeration list because it's a list that is sequential, let's say. Enums can be used as table fields, local and global variables, and parameters. So they can just be passed as any other data type. The syntax is ID and name. You specify the ID of the enum and the name. The enumeration list consists of values, and each of the values are declared with an ID and a value. Okay, so the values of the enums, they are declared with an ID known as an ordinal and the value. Okay, let's proceed. The value ID of is the ordinal value on the enumeration list and must be unique. So we say maybe status open is 0, status pending is 1. So we go sequentially, or the value of the ordinal has to be unique. Yes, let's proceed. When the enum values are displayed in the UI, they are sorted by the order of declaration. I'll test this if maybe we declare an ID, maybe ID 10 earlier and then ID 9 later. We see if it will sort by ID or order of declaration. I'm yet to test this. Yes, okay. If you extend an enum, the parent enum's values are displayed first. Only an enum that has been marked as extensible, there is a property known as extensible true. If it is true, then it can be extended. If not, then the enum cannot be extended. If yes, we are here. IDs are not enforced by license, but it's advisable to use the assigned object range, especially for appsource apps. Yes, the object IDs of the enums are not really enforced by the license, but yes, let's use it just in case. Only enums with the extensible property set to true can be extended. And then here we have some instances, method from the enum instance. We can use Enum.FromInteger method to return an enum with the integer value, the value of the ordinal, the names. Guess the value. Names list of here is an example. If you say list of enum value and then this is the name, you can say when you use the names, you can be able to fetch the values of the enum in form of a list. You can also be able to fetch the ordinals of an enum in form of a list using enum.ordinals, and you create a new list just like that. And then enum as integer. Remember, enums, they still use the double semicolon, the double full colon when we want to view the values of the enum. Let's go to an example. So as usual, the snippet will be tenum, type enum. Let me use the default one. I'll use 5100, and as I maintain my convention, my enum is known as status enum. Extensible is true. Maybe I don't want this to be extended, I just want it to be a fixed, but yeah, we can say it's extensible. As usual, we can start with 0 as the value, but now my value here will be open. And then let me just simplify it because I don't have a lot. From here, when we hit on control space, we can see the options, the things that we can add here. Okay, obsolete reason and all that, but you can say the caption. Maybe we can say the caption open. Maybe if we have a different caption, then it can really work for us. Caption open. Okay, now we can declare as many as possible. Open, it's pending, approved, and rejected. This is very amazing because I won't be able, okay, declaring all these statuses for each table is a hassle. So by just declaring them in an enum, and then I've sorted it for any table that requires an approval from my side. Look at the value here. It's already saying a member with ID 0 already exists. The way we said the enum must have a unique value for the ID. Self-explanatory there. 3. And now the name here isn't unique and it has been detected, so approved. Here we can say the caption is pending approval, maybe approved, or maybe the caption is released, but let me say released. And then, but it's good to use the same caption. This is a little bit confusing to the next developer. Rejected or cancelled, and then rejected, because when you cancel an approval request, it goes to pending approval. So rejected is when you have rejected, you have said no to this approval. So this is okay, the use case now with this enum, we said we can use it in record, we can use it as a global variable. So I want us to use it in a table. So here it is, enum test. I'd started creating a table, but I didn't finish. So when you say the enum, you need to specify the table, the field, and then you say the enum. Which enum is it? It's an enum of type status enum. The way you say it's a record of type this, so we say it's an enum of status enum, and that is the primary key. Okay, we don't need all this for now. We can simplify our table. Okay, at this stage we need to create a page so that we can display our enum on this other side. After this we'll create an extensible enum, but for now let's open our page. Where is the page? Okay, let's create a page that will display these enums that we have just made here. New file, let's use the wizard. Come on, it's a page, enum test. Let's call it status enum. Status enum list. Status enum. Come on. There is no such table. What is the name of our table? Okay. The table is enum test, not status enum. Okay, page wizard. I got you. It's enum test. And we want it to be a list. It will be a list. Usage category will be list, and then next. There is no field in that table, apparently. Enum test. Come on. Next. So we only need status enum. Okay, can add this. Created at, created by. Okay, let me remove them. Not so important for now. Then finish. Here is our page status enum list, and then we save the page. Okay, we need to see our enum, how it's displayed. We expect the values to be the ones displayed on the other side of the page. The package is created, and we just need to run it. The package has been created. So let's open the status enum. Okay, let me refresh and open the status enum list. Status enum list. Here we have a list. Since the only value in that the primary key is this, we can only have maybe one value at a time. So here we have our open pending approval. We can add another value, let's say approved, and that's how we have our enum. Yeah, so at this juncture, let us extend the enum to items. This is now the beauty. We can extend this type. We have inventory, service, non-inventory, and then let's add something known as custom into this. But before that, let me go back to something that I saw on okay, if you declare an enum about the order of the enum, you can do a test very fast. Come on, I want to put this as let me add 2 value. Let me say value number 20 is posted, and then the caption is posted, and then value number 4 will be let me say archived, and then the caption will be archived, So I'm trying to verify if whatever statement was in the documentation is true, that the order of declaration is what matters in enums. Let us see. The extension has been updated, and we go to status enum. Where is it? Does it really matter? Let me see which one comes first. Posted and then archived. So this is very true. Regardless of the ordinal number, the order of declaration is what matters. Absolutely 100% verified. That's very true. Okay, now then we need to extend the item. I don't know what it's called, but we'll just see in a moment. We'll go back to our status enum and maybe just add a t enum extension. Not advisable to use this, so let me just use a new file. Should be in enum extensions, but for now let me just say that extend item okay, extend item type. It should be item type enum extension. Okay, let me just use the wizard because I'm creating something that is not file. Enum extension wizard 5100. Object name item extension. Extend item status. Status extends item status. Is that an option string or okay, I'm not sure if it's an option string. Status, let me do status. Let me verify. For the item, we have a field known as status. It is type. Okay, I'm obsessed with status. So item type. Here we have the item type. We need to extend it. The first value ID, that's okay, 5100. Values, they are comma separated. Captions, comma separated. It is for this item type. Let me say custom, then finish. So we have our enum item status, which extends the item type. This is our value. We have the caption is custom. Let us see, just as easy as that. This is the syntax: enum extension, then the ID, then the name. It extends this particular enum type, and then we'll compile our extension and see how it appears. We should see a new item type on the other side. Here we are with a new item. Let me refresh, and then let's view. The item type should have a new value that we may need, and here we are. We have this custom item type, effortlessly extending the default functionality of the Business Central extension. And finally, we have some methods here for the enum, several methods or usage scenarios. Like we have Enum.AsInteger. It will give us the enum as an integer. Then the list, Enum.ordinal will create a list of all the enums like an ordinal. But just to show you an example, 5120, just an example, test enum. You don't want to do a lot here, but having an enum of status enum maybe. Control space to generate intelligence, and then we'll say the name. Let me say full status enum. Status enum. Okay, the use case of an enum is the same way we were using option strings. If you are familiar with option strings, the double semicolon, you get approved and all that. So if I say status enum is status enum approved, I have declared it to be approved, and then again I can now say status enum.AsInteger. It will give me the maybe we specify an integer, my integer. It's okay, let's just have it like that. My integer is status enum as integer. So we can also use where is it, the from integer. Enum.FromInteger method returns an enum with an integer value. So if you pass an integer to the enum, you can be able to get it from the integer. So let me say maybe, okay, new status enum is an enum, still status enum. So we'll say maybe new status enum, and we have a value of as an integer that is coming from maybe a parameter. We'll say enum is equals to enum come on, from integer and then maybe 10. So what's wrong with this? Yeah, we are declaring this new status enum, and we say it's an enum. This is the syntax, enum, and then this double okay, double full colons, and then the status enum from integer 10. If it has a value, then we get it, but I believe we have 0, so that will give us open. It's like saying now this status enum will be now new status enum open, then we give a message, yeah, or rather maybe we can now have that as a message to get now what is the value of the new status enum. Okay, that is it for this video. May God bless you. I will see you in the next episode.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so that you don't miss the next one.